Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24. It is now time for round 11 of our MotoGP career mode, and it is time for my home circuit. It is the British GP of Silverstone, and as you can see, it's going to be another wet race for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be starting from the back of the grid using the highest difficulty in the game of 120% AI. Let's crack on. So here we go then. As mentioned already, we will be starting from the back of the grid, so we will wait for the red lights to disappear, and away we go. So right then, a little bit slow there off the line as a matter of fact. Using traction control 2, I do find that gives you the best sort of feeling and grip in the wet conditions. I would really like to use, where everyone hit the brakes really firm there into the farm corner. But yeah, I really don't want to be using traction control, because traction control at least, because I find it just slows you down a little bit. It's good enough for stability and you're able to get quite aggressive on the power, and TCS1 sometimes is just a bit too loose, but I feel that sometimes you do run out a bit of power coming out of the corner there. Look at Angel Piqueras diving over the inside for the left hand side. That was clinically done from the young Spaniard, but I'm going to try and get back on through as we go into the left hander for the Brooklands corner. Squeezing through now on Tatsuki-san. Was our rival for today's objective. We needed to beat him in both the qualifying and the race, so with me skipping qualifying, it's actually pretty much impossible to achieve that objective here today, but we'll still aim to beat him in the race nonetheless. So we're able to move past now on Ricky Rossi, and we go into Woodcut for the very first time. Of course, this is the old start-finish straight for MotoGP. I must confess, I much prefer the older start-finish compared to the new one. I don't really like the way it ends now in modern day MotoGP. I much prefer that lovely tight line and the battle going into Woodcut, and then of course into the final corner, and then for the long run into the victory line. So into the left hander now. This is turn 12. We're going to Maggots and Beckett's. We're already up to the top 10 positions. That's a 14 position improvement already in the space of just one lap. But I do feel a little bit sluggish. I don't know if it's because I've been playing MotoGP for the past couple of days, doing the guides, and then of course the Alicia Spargo video. I don't know if it's rubbed off on me. Oh, someone's gone down there. Is that Stefano Neppa who's binned it on the left hand side? It certainly is. He's dropped the front into stow, a bit similar to what Marco Bezzecchi did in the race here last season, as we got late on the brakes there. Goodness me, look how many riders we're overtaking there going into the Vale corner. They are so slow breaking into turn 16. That's cost them such an amount of positions. So Joel Kelso pushing up the inside for the club corner. Beautifully done from the Aussie. But yeah, regarding this bike and this conditions, I do feel a little bit sluggish. And honestly, I should have done some practice. I just jumped into it today, straight onto it. The second I seen it was Silverstone, I thought, yeah, let's go for it. And then I realised it was wet, and I thought, damn, I should have done at least 1 or 2 laps of practice before sending it into this race. So just notice that it's Tayo Forasato who's leading this Grand Prix, so I would imagine now that he's probably already won this. Tayo is so damn fast in our Moto3 career mode that I just do not think we have the means to catch up to the number 72. Because the last time we were in the wet conditions, he got punted out of the Grand Prix, and that was by yours truly. A clumsy mistake going into the scrubbing corner in Assen caused Tayo Forasato to end his Grand Prix prematurely after getting hit from the BOE Motorsports KTM. But if you cast your minds back to the last wet weather race we did before Assen, it would have been in the Circuit of the Americas, and of course cast your minds back to that. If you watched the video back then, you'll know that Tayo Forasato was a man on a mission who was absolutely impervious. He was stellar in that Grand Prix. He could not hold a candle to him, and it looks very much the same, that the wet weather specialist right now is dashing off to take the lead, well, to disappear with the lead as we bump Colin via a little bit going into the Maggots corner. Now into the right hand side, we are steadily moving our way closer and closer towards those podium positions. Two podium positions are possible ahead of us, but as I mentioned, 2.7 seconds to Forasato. It's looking a little bit bleak to say the very least. Now, of course, Holgado bounced back tremendously in the last video in the Saxon Ring. Managed to finish out on top, victorious by a country mile ahead of his teammate Tatsuki Suzuki and then myself in third place. Now, of course, don't forget we are on a 100% podium streak at the moment, and it's about to continue, providing we stay exactly where we are right now. This is a good start, and this is exactly what I was looking for when I started this video here today. So into the right-hand side. Oh, that was close to the apex. Really tight to the apex there. We have lost a chunk of time now to Danny Holgado and, of course, the race leader Forasata. So I think that is pretty much now a scare and a warning to say just be careful when going into the final corner. You have to be so careful anyway when you're going so close to these curbs and apexes in MotoGP 24. So we've got to do the same and try and better it from this point onwards. So out of the loop we go with them. Yeah, we lost a lot of time already just for messing it up into the final corner, because what the problem is with doing that is that you lose momentum, not just for that final corner, but the run into turn 1 and then into turn 2, you're on the back foot and you're trying to catch up to your same momentum you had earlier on. So this lap time is probably going to be quite a bad lap time until we start getting back into the groove yet again. Pleased to see that we're still on the podium positions though, nonetheless. You can't really go wrong with that. Total, Via and Suzuki still in pursuit, and it does seem that there's a lot of riders all with speed here in the British GP. Gap is just about to get to a second to Holgar. Oh my god, look at that lunge from Ifan O'Toole. That's a brilliant move from the young Spaniard. Felt it a little bit weak going into that corner on the previous lap, but this time around I think it's just showing how good the 120% AI are in that corner. Beautifully done from Ifan O'Toole, and now we're on the back foot trying to get back into the podium positions. So into the right-hander, this is the Beckett's corner. Got to try and stay with O'Toole now and use his slipstream to catch back up to Daniel Holgado. Can we do it? We're going to have to work together though, in tandem, a duo on the circuit between the Spanish rider and the Brit, i.e. myself. But I do like the idea of getting past him and doing the leading rather than the following. I don't know whether O'Toole has got the speed to catch up to Holgado, but I think I have. So I think it would be better and beneficial to us both if we get through here, round the outside perhaps, you betcha. Round the outside, into the Vale corner. We are now back on it to catch up to Holgado. Only 0.8 of a second separates us from second to the third position we're in now. Look at that different apex there as well. Beautiful this time around, but we are still a second slower than what we were on the previous lap. Now into the Abbey corner. This is turn 1. We get onto the power and swing it in to the left hand side. Ease upon the brakes here. Straighten the motorcycle up and hit the brakes. Keep it in nice and tight. Ooh, I had to make a small correction then. You can't really do those small, tight corrections when you're in the wet conditions, but we got away with murder there. It does seem. 0.6 is the gap. Look at that gap to Forasata though. That is unbelievable, isn't it? 4.4 seconds. I'm playing on 120% AI. Tayo Forasata is playing on 0%. He is killing it right now. Marvellous job from the young Japanese rider. That's deep there for Brooklyn's corner. That's going to cost me time. Oh, I can't afford to lose more time. And of course, getting behind O'Toole again puts me in a perilous spot to go into turn 9 in a moment. I do really need to get through here. Here's turn 8, and then of course turn 9 is rapidly approaching. Got to hit the brakes around the Monster Energy sign and slowly back it in to get into the right-hander. That's much better, but we still run it a bit deep. Get onto the curb. That's going to be a track limit warning, if I'm not mistaken. No, I got away with it. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you very much. And there is Tatsuki Suzuki behind us as well. He's going to charge at us. Oh, I carried a lot of speed there, but I just bumped the rear tyre of the MT MSI team onto the KTM ahead of us. So that, unfortunately, is going to cost us time. And there's a track limit warning. Did I just touch the white line there? That seems a bit harsh, but it is what it is. So, of course, guys, if you are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also join the Discord server if you want to talk about more MotoGP And anything else really, as long as it's motorcycle related, you'll be more than welcome to join the DrAce Discord server. Now, we'll try and break there at the craft beer sign, and hopefully we can close back in on the rider that I lost to position 2. Now into the right-hander, can we get through? Not the cleanest of moves, but we've got it done. Bit aggressive, arms and elbows out, kicking Ortola out the way. We got through, and we're now occupying third place once more. Gap is still a second to Holgado, so this is crucial that we must stop infighting and battling it out for this third position, because we have the speed, we have the pace to catch up to Holgado. It's just that we're obviously struggling to not fight. It's too ego, and we're both too ego. I'm just as bad as Ortola is in this situation. I just feel I have more pace than Ortola, but in the middle part of the track, I think that's where Ortola's quicker than me. So I need to be leading from the first sector and hold on to that lead by sector 2, sector 3. I think we can do it, but I've just make sure I've got to resist the attempts from Ifan Ortola. Oh, it's deep again. That is deep. That's deep for the Brooklands corner. That's the second time in a row we've just drifted a little bit wide for Brooklands. Now as we go for that lovely tight apex for Luffield, we get onto the power. This might give us an opportunity to get to the slipstream of Holgado going into Maggots and Beckett's. The AI aren't that fast going into those corners, so I think it does help us quite a lot if we can stay with the number 96. A little bit wide there, but Ortola again! He's making my life a misery here in the British GP. He just does not want to work together, so around the outside into Maggots, on the brakes, keep it in tight, run it a bit deep. That's going to be a track limit warning again if I'm not careful. We held on to it, but it did us no favours, that at all. We've lost so much time to Holgado. The pair of us are as bad as each other, and that's another track limit warning. That really didn't look like I touched the green there. That's a harsh track limit warning, but it is what it is. Replay it if you want to prove me wrong. No doubt I probably am wrong. But I'm disappointed that I really didn't want to get that track limit warning. No adept mile has been given a track limit warning. So myself now trying to do the honours to catch back up to the competition. Least I possibly dare on the brakes for Vale Corner. Holgado's gap is over 1 second. You know the rules. If you break that 1 second advantage ahead of your competition, you break the resolve of the rider behind. Still not able to get into the 123s yet. All that faffing around with Ortola is certainly not helping us. We've wasted a good couple of laps there where we could have been right there on the rear tail unit of his Husqvarna. We've got to be better than this. We've got to catch up to the number 96. I want to end this video here today with at the very least second place. And for the sense of parity and the idea of a rivalry brewing, it would be really cool if Furusato was to win today. I finished second best. I accept that I'm the second best rider today. Then we go to Motegi in a few weeks' time and we win into Furusato's back garden. That would just be beautiful for the sense of the rivalry. But for now, we're just racing what we're doing and we're just seeing how much we can catch up to Holgado ahead of us. Gap is less than a second. It is coming back to us. It is going into our favour. Just got to keep on it, keep pushing, keep the bike on 2 wheels. Don't fluff it up. Don't knacker it by making any stupid lunges or silly mistakes. The prime example would be to go into the likes of Maggots and Beckett's. That's a very easy spot to lose your concentration. And now how tight we are to the apex there. That is looking better every time we take that corner. Didn't realise, but for a start into the 122s, my goodness, he is on a roll, and so away onto the curb there. That's a scary position to be bouncing and bobbling over the rumble strips. But it is allowing us to catch back up to the number 96. Ooh, careful on that curb. Don't really want to touch the curbs too much in these wet conditions. Conditions like this are perilous. Got to be really careful as we now get underneath the bridge once again. So here on lap 6, of course, just to mention as well, quick look at the top 8. Furusato, Holgado, myself in 3rd. Suzuki, Alonso, who's just behind the Japanese rider there. Colin Via, Ortola's dropped to 7th, so it's not been so great for him since he moved into 2nd place earlier on in the Grand Prix. and of course Joel Kelso just heading up this back top 8 at the back there. Did I run it a bit deep there into Vale? I feel like I did. I've lost a little bit of time for that silly error. We will get back into the 123s, and that's a good lap, but it doesn't feel like we've caught that much up to Algardo. Sector 1 is definitely our sector, so if it's going to be anywhere to catch up to Danny, it is here. On the left-hand side now of those very thin Pirelli rubber tyres, as we now dive into the right-hand side. Yeah, we are closing in here, guys and girls. We're closing in ever so slightly to the number 96. Husqvarna cannot escape us now, surely. I'm actually in a bit of a Husqvarna sandwich here. 2 slices of Husqvarna with a BOE Motorsport KTM in the middle. Beautiful. I'll have that with mayonnaise. As we now travel down the long straight once again, hit the brakes. And hopefully this time I don't mess it up going into Brooklands. Which we don't, but that gap, it's remaining the same. I'm absolutely pushing here, you know. I'm really on the limits, but I just can't seem to catch up to Danny. I thought I'd be there by now. Well, maybe not that close, but close enough to at least get a bit of slipstream. Got to make sure we get it right now into somewhat dreaded Copse Corner now, because I'm getting a little bit nervous about entering turn 9. I felt alright earlier on, but I think knowing that I've been losing time there, or Tola made that lunge on me, I'm beginning to question it. And that is the worst thing you can do as a rider, both virtual and real, is to overthink. You don't want to be doing that in any condition when you're racing. And if you're racing the hardest difficulty AI like I'm doing right now, you really can't afford to make those mistakes. So into Beckett's, keep it in tight, not that tight, that's a track limit warning if I ever seen one. Oh, that was almost a second. That was very nearly a second track limit warning, but I am pushing now to try and catch up to Danny, but I can't do it. He's on a mission today, ladies and gentlemen. Furusato has definitely checked out. He is 6 seconds clear now from us, and in turn is 5 seconds clear from Danny Olgado. He's already there into the Vale corner. We've still got a bit of a straight. Unbelievable. I was a bit late on the brakes that time. I don't think I'm going to get stopped. That's the second time in a row now, and the problem with that... Oh, and I've just cut the corner terribly. Oh, that's terrible. I went into autopilot mode there for a second. I can't believe I just done that. I went so wide that I didn't even actually comprehend that I've gone so wide and still turned in at the same point as if I wasn't wide. That's cost me. That has cost me a lot of time and a track limit warning, which is the most important part, because we're only 1 track limit warning away now from a long lap penalty. That's gone. That is a tough situation to be in. 6 more laps of the Silverstone circuit, which is a plus 2 minute 20 lap without using track limits again. Now don't get me wrong, none of those are tactical abuse. It's just simply that I made a couple of errors. Got to be careful, especially going into Maggots and Beckett's. You turn in too early there, and it will be a metaphorical slap on the wrist. So we must be careful. Into the right-hander. This is the Luffield corner. Run it a little bit wider, then get that tighter line. Don't think I like doing that, you know, because it just brings the AI for a chance for a lunge. And you know they will lunge. They always do. They love a good lunge in this game, and I can't blame them. I'm guilty of a good lunge as well. So now into the dreaded Copse corner for turn 9, onto the right hand side of the bike as we lean in. Oh, the bike feels so weird into turn 9, you know. Just doesn't seem comfortable at all. Feels a little bit like Tour VIP in Portimao, or I've gone wide again. This bike is beginning to feel incredibly sluggish. I don't know if it's the tyres, but it's really struggling. I've not got much feeling now on the brakes, and I'm just having difficulties just manoeuvring the KTM. And as I mentioned, it feels like Tour VIP into Portimao. If you know what that corner's like, the same as Lakaisha and Sepang's final corner, the bike just doesn't want to turn. It just feels ever so strange, and it feels a little bit like that now, but for a select few corners. And it seems the longer I'm on these tyres, that the worse this race is going to go for me. This could be a very tough finish. Oh, I tried to grate around the outside of David Alonso there, but he really positioned himself back in front of me as we give him a bit of a nudge going in to the club corner as we now dive in. Can we squeeze through? We can. Not a bad little battle there between myself and Alonso, but all that has done has meant that Daniel Holgado can breathe easy and rub the sweat off his metaphorical brow and continue to race as he's doing. The battle for the victory is gone. The battle for the podium is game on. So we are now going to have to defend against not one, not two, and I don't think it's three. I think it's going to be 4 or 5 riders all gunning for me and my third position. I can't even tell you the last time a British rider finished in the podium positions in Moto3. It would have to be Danny Kent back in 2015. It would have to be. I can't think of anyone else. Maybe John McPhee, the Scottish rider. Did he finish on the podium here in Moto3? I really don't remember, you know. And I certainly don't think Scott Ogden or Joshua Watley finished on the podium at all yet, so I don't think either of those have. Let me know in the comments section down below if you know the answer to that question. But into the right-hander then. Back onto the power for the woodcut corner. Just the bike's feeling really sluggish now. Oh, we're under major pressure now from Tatsuki Suzuki. He wants a bit of the action as well. Oh, we dropped the front. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. That's a save of the century. That is the absolute save of the century. And I've just been given a track limit warning. What? I got a long lap penalty for saving the crash. Are you joking me? No, come on. Surely I lost enough time then. That was one hell of a save. We're going to have to watch that back. Check out the replay in the right-hand side of your screen. That was unbelievable. I lost the front then. The front went. I cannot believe that. I wish I had my controller plugged in so I could show you the overlay, but basically for that, I was hitting the brakes, and as the front went, I just flicked the left analog stick to the left and tried to save it. Used a bit of power and a bit of brake, and yeah, lo and behold, we managed to save it. But oh my God, head in hands is, oh my God. Oh, that's even worse. Oh no. Oh, Colin Vire. Well, that's a long lap penalty. Even if the game doesn't give it me, I will do a long lap penalty. That was disgusting. That was just absolutely clumsy. A huge mistake, and that warrants a big penalty. I think I'm going to get a long lap penalty at least. Yeah, it's a long lap penalty. I've now got 2 long lap penalties to contend with here in Silverstone. 8 laps of calm, collected, and somewhat desperate to try and catch up to Daniel Holgado has all been absolutely messed up, and I've never done a long lap penalty here, so wish me luck here into the loop. Doesn't seem too bad, but you know what? It felt like I could get through there quicker. But I have lost 2 seconds. Oh, look at the bike. It's twisting and moving as well. Oh, and I'm off the circuit. God, the nature coming out of that corner doesn't do you any favours when you then get back onto the power. Oh, what a clumsy lap and a half this has been. I can't believe I took out Colin Vire. In fact, he's actually behind me on the circuit. Now, I've already taken the penalty for exceeding the track limits. My penalty for taking out Colin Vire will be on the next lap. That is just so clumsy. It was such a mistake. I actually went into that corner still very much high on the adrenaline of saving it here on the lap prior. Now, I've been talking about how much I've been struggling going into this Copse corner pretty much all of the race, and just for it to materialise and culminate into that big save. I've called it the save of the century, not the sale of the century, if you remember watching that on the telly back in the day, but the save of the century. That was a great save. It's not often you can do great saves in MotoGP 24. Usually, it's pretty clear cut. If you're going to crash, you're going to crash. But it actually gave me the freedom there to fire against the momentum of the bike crashing, and I was able to stay on board the bike. It was quite a sensational feeling, to be quite honest with you. It's definitely in the archives of DrAce's interesting moments, let's say, of the MotoGP 24 career mode. Oh my God, who's that who's gone down? Oh, Ricky Rossi's gone down. Collision with Ivan Ortola. And in fact, that gives us an opportunity now to get through on the MTMSI bike, which we do. And we're right back up into the top 6. Now, I would say the podium is definitely gone. Even without the additional long lap penalty, which I will take on this lap, I might as well just get it done with. I don't think I'm going to catch up to anywhere near the podium position. So unfortunately, I mentioned this earlier, that our podium streak, which has continued since Sepang in the debut season with the CIP Green Power KTM, all the way up to now, and it will end. That is a terrific run. 12, 13 races in a row. Can't really go wrong with that. So into the brakes then. Nice and tight to the apex for the loop. Nicely done. We have completed another long lap penalty. And of course, guys, there is your crash on screen on the right hand side. It was a very clumsy crash. Very clumsy attempt. It was not even an attempt to get through on Colin Vire, to be quite honest with you. I just didn't brake as early as I usually do. And in that meantime, I was still travelling, not even thinking that would hit Colin Vire until it was too late. And as you see in the replay there, that was from a long, long way back. It was a very clumsy mistake. I apologise to all the Colin Vire viewers, and I apologise to you guys for mucking it up so badly into the Vale corner. But we're on the upside now. We'll try and get back into the top 5. 5 could be pretty impossible. We'll at least very much aim for the top 6. But I'll tell you one thing. There's one thing that this video has not been, and that's been slow and boring. It's been very intense. I've got another track limit warning. My God. It's been very intense after I saved that. It's certainly paid off watching this video here today. So I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed this one. But I won't lie to you. This has been a challenging video for me. Really difficult to try and get this KTM to work at its maximum potential here in a circuit which requires a lot of speed. I'm making a lot of mistakes here. Am I going to get a third long lap penalty? Please not. And in fact, since I did the long lap penalty in Assen, I've now had 3. And that long lap penalty was by choice, because I took out Forasato. The game didn't even give me the penalty. Just I decided to do the right thing, and of course I would have done the right thing for taking out Colin Vire in this one as well. So late on the brakes then, can we get through on both riders? I think we can. Nice. We do manage to nail a clean overtake for once, it seems. I do have it in my repertoire after all. So quick recap. If I'm not mistaken, Furasato's just gone quicker. I think he's just set a 2 minute 22.689, because correct me if I'm wrong, but before we started this penultimate lap, Tatsuki Suzuki was the fastest man on the circuit. I was looking and eyeballing a 22 earlier. Now we're looking at just getting into a 124s. I mean, we have had, what, 3 laps of mischief? Possibly 4? Yeah, this has been a tough race today. Not exactly how I wanted it to go. I think these last 2 laps here could probably be sort of a reflection time for us. It's not been a good race. We had the potential to fight with the best. Maybe not for Asata, but at least 2nd and 3rd, and it just seems that nothing really materialised for us today. A bit disappointed, actually. Especially on my home track. I was really hoping for a solid result here today. And of course, if, whats, buts, maybes, could've, would've and should've is not something that we tend to do, but it's something I do want to look at and think, if this track was dry, we could have had a proper ding-dong of a battle. I do feel that way. I love this circuit, and I think it would have been absolutely brilliant here in Silverstone. But I'm still happy with the video, and end of the day, it's fun. I enjoyed making this one. Shows I'm human. We've got full transparency, and I do like the way I've included the replay feature now as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. I would like to spruce it up a little bit, but I'm a bit stuck on time at the moment. So I want to get it to be a nice transition, something similar to what MotoGP has. I don't think I'll incorporate a noise or anything, but we'll definitely keep something similar to what we've got now. So I'm down the long straight. I actually thought we were going to get another track limit warning there. I just went onto the green ever so slightly, as the MotoGP stewards have just given Filippo Farioli a track limit warning. Jose Antonio Rueda finished 2nd. Oh, in fact, no, he was battling with me for 2nd in the Sachsenring GP. He is nowhere to be seen, but his teammate down to 7th. Just been replaced by Colin Vire. So now Vire has got the advantage for 7th. And it does seem, now that all the racing and fire, we're losing the rear there, look at that. But now it's all the fighting has stopped. It does look like we're looking at a consistent 2 minute 23 lap time. So what could have been if we didn't start from the back of the grid, perhaps. Maybe if I started at the middle. Or at the front, we could have got to the front and led from the beginning. All I know is that we've made our bed, we've done 2 long lap penalties in it, then we lay down. What a race. This is not how I expected this one to go, not at all. I jumped onto the video today and I thought, you know what? Rub my hands together, it's Silverstone. And then I'm going to record Red Bull Ring of Austria, which is going to be another cracker. It's going to be 2 great videos to record here today. And, yeah, I mean, well, one of them has been very interesting so far, let's say. And I'm still yet to do the Red Bull Ring of Austria, so we'll find out how that goes very, very soon. But in the past, I've had good races there and bad races, so I'm going to lean on the idea of it being a good race. So fingers crossed for the Red Bull Ring of Austria video coming very, very soon. So now onto the power and then onto the brakes, just at the Monster Energy sign, as we dive into the right-hander for the Cops corner. Thank goodness I'll only be tackling this corner one more time as we launch onto the power. Sorry, I got caught up there. 0.4 of a second. Colin Vire, he closed into me quite quickly there. Can you imagine if he now closes us in going into the penultimate corner and absolutely sends it to get revenge? Can you imagine? Ooh, off the track there almost again. 0.5 second is the gap to Colin Vire. Yeah, this one's not quite over, and we're not going to get into the 2 minutes 23s again. Vitelli has been given a warning. Something has happened to the young Italian. As we now go on to the power, we'll brake right there at the craft beer sign, and that will conclude it. Forassato has already won the race. Suzuki has just got the better of Holgado there on the final lap, and he's just beaten him. He's just got him at the end. He must have had a ridiculous pace there. Colin Vire behind is not going to be close enough, and we will finish in 6th place. Not a great result for your World Championship leader. Very interesting results there. The only KTM in the top 6. Forassato won by a country mile, 8 seconds clear from Suzuki. And of course, Suzuki beating Holgado right there at the end. That was brilliant. Really nice move from Tatsuki-san. But anyway, let's see how the championship results are affected. Not bad. We did lose a couple of points there to Suzuki. So the gap has come down to 50 points. There's still 2 Grand Prix victories ahead of the Japanese rider. Forassato trying to get himself back into the fight as well. But guys, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching the video. I certainly hope you enjoyed. I will leave you with the team's championship, but as you can see, it is a little bit bugged. So I don't know what's going on with the statistics, but that's it from me nonetheless. So guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.